There is a paradox in human life that is deeply unsettling. Some people don't always want to die when life is at its worst. Sometimes, the desire to disappear arrives when life seems complete. This was the paradox that quietly consumed Leo Tolstoy. At the height of his success, Tolstoy had everything most people spend their entire lives chasing: fame, wealth, a large family, books that would outlive generations. From the outside, nothing was missing. And yet, inside, he found himself haunted by a question so simple and so dangerous that it nearly destroyed him. Why go on living? Tolstoy did not grow up in extreme poverty, but he lost his parents early. From a young age, he developed a habit that would later become so heavy to carry. He thought deeply, relentlessly about life. As a young man, he believed success would resolve that way of thinking. Write better books, earn recognition, build a respectable life. And he did all of it. But in middle age, a quiet question appeared, and it refused to leave. And then what? Write another masterpiece? Then what? Raise children? Then what? Gain more praise? Then what? Tolstoy realized something terrifying. Every human effort, no matter how noble, ends the same way, with death. And if the ending is the same for everyone, what makes all the striving in between meaningful? The fear was not death, it was meaninglessness. Tolstoy was not afraid of death in the physical sense. What terrified him was something deeper, the possibility that life itself was meaningless. He wrote about days when he avoided being alone, days when he avoided looking at objects he could use to end his life. Not because he wanted to die immediately, but because he wasn't certain he wouldn't. Sleep became his refuge. When asleep, he didn't have to think. When awake, the emptiness returned, untouched. This wasn't ordinary sadness. It was an existential collapse, when reason dismantles every reason to keep living. The Man in the Well. Tolstoy once shared a short story that captured his inner world perfectly. A man is fleeing a wild beast and falls into a deep well. At the bottom, a dragon waits. At the top, two mice, one black, one white, slowly gnaws at the rope he's clinging to. There is no escape. But then the man notices a drop of honey on the wall. He tastes it, and for a brief moment, he forgets the beast, the dragon, and the rope. Tolstoy said, "That drop of honey is life, pleasure, achievement, moments of happiness. Sweet, but it doesn't stop the rope from thinning." How humans cope with this truth. In his despair, Tolstoy observed how people respond to this reality. Some stay endlessly busy with distractions, noise, entertainment, anything to avoid thinking. Some chase pleasure and possessions, as if comfort multiplied enough times could fill the void. Some choose to end their lives. And some, like Tolstoy at the time, see the emptiness clearly, yet continue living in silent agony. He believed this last state was the most painful of all. Why philosophy and science could not save him. Tolstoy turned to philosophy, then to science, then to pure logic. What he found were cold conclusions. Humans are finite. Consciousness is temporary. Everything dissolves. Reason is powerful, but it also strips away illusion. And illusion, he realized, was what once made life bearable. Logic can explain the world, but it cannot tell a tired soul why to stay. The shift didn't come from books. It came from peasants living near him. They were poor. They worked endlessly. They knew they would die. Yet they were not despairing. They lived. They labored. They trusted. They accepted suffering without resentment. Tolstoy saw what he had lost: faith. Not blind belief, but trust that life extended beyond what reason could measure. Tolstoy did not return to religion as ritual or dogma. He searched for something simpler and deeper, a meaning that did not collapse at the thought of death. When life is connected to something larger than the self, suffering remains, but meaninglessness disappears. That was enough to keep him alive. In his later years, Tolstoy lived simply with less luxury, less ambition, and less hunger for status. He worked with his hands. He wrote about compassion, morality, and responsibility. Life did not become easier, but it became bearable. If this story leaves you with anything, let it be this: success can teach us how to live, but it rarely answers why. Meaninglessness hurts deeper than pain ever could. Reason can explain life, but it cannot hold us when we are tired. Faith doesn't erase suffering, it simply removes despair. And sometimes, a quiet, simple life can feel far richer than a successful one. If this story touched something inside you, please like the video. It helps this message reach those who need it. Subscribe if you want more quiet stories that heal without preaching. And leave a comment below. I read every one. You are not alone in these questions.